Cornhole Nation, the 2019 ACL Cornhole Mania brought us one of the best games in the history of women's doubles cornhole. Christine Papke and Stacia Pugh, trying to take home back-to-back national titles, run into tough opponents of Carrie Mittermiller and Brittany Emge in the semifinals. We're going to break down the game, bring you all of the action, all of the big shots, the decisions that were made that made the game so incredible to watch. This is the Film Room. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump in a few rounds into this game, Game 1. Now, Carrie Mittermiller is going to start off the game with a block, and it's going to be a short block. Now, what's interesting about a short block, and the way I define a short block, is a reasonable amount of board space in between the bag and the hole. Now, a short block will often make a player make an initial decision of, do I want to go ahead and be aggressive and start airmailing immediately? Do I want to block behind it and then force both players to get into an airmail showdown? Do I want to push through it? There are a lot of different things to try here. And especially what I want to focus on this round is how Carrie Mittermiller is able to score points knowing the strategy and the type of play style that Christine Papke has. With this short block, she knows that Christine Papke is not a very overly aggressive player. She is conservative. She takes her points when she can. She is a very soft thrower. She lets the bag do most of the work on the board. She doesn't have a hard push shot. So with a short block, she's setting herself up for a chance to make Christine Papke get outside of her comfort zone. And that's exactly what happens for Christine. She tries to throw a bag to push up that short block up closer to the hole. What happens is it goes up the board hard, ricochets off of Carrie Mittermiller's V block. We talked about a V block last episode, about its ability to kick a bag left or right. And now it lands Christine Papke's bag to the left of the hole, making it much more difficult for her to be able to bring that in. Carrie Mittermiller then follows up here with a slide shot push. It doesn't push her bag in, but because she stayed tight to the center of the board, the bag still ended up in the hole. Now again, we leave Christine Papke in a decision to make here. Does she go with an airmail to drag this bag? Well, historically, we know that, again, Christine Papke, not an overly aggressive player. She decides to lay up, push up against the bag, essentially trying the same shot she tried the first time. Now this time she does a little bit better of a job. She gets the bag closer to the hole. But the problem is her two bags are now on top of one another, gonna make moving them very difficult. On the flip side, Carrie Mittermiller is on this side of the board, meaning that her angle of her shot is naturally going to come from this direction, meaning that her next shot is set up perfectly for her to push both in, and that's exactly what she does. A big shot for Carrie Mittermiller. Now remember, I said Christine Papke doesn't have the best slide shot. She doesn't throw a hard bag. Well, she's going to try to push all three of these bags, and she only gets one. Carrie Mittermiller has her next shot. She follows it up with a perfect block. Now, sometimes you got to recognize that sometimes in front of the hole is actually better than in the hole. Now, you say, Trey, that doesn't make any sense. You always want to be in the hole. Not necessarily. If this bag by Carrie Mittermiller was in the hole, Christine Papke would have a much easier time either getting the bag in her hand in the hole along with these other bags. Because now when she goes for a push shot, she's going to have additional traffic in the way, meaning Carrie's bag is preventing her from getting all three of her bags in on one shot. So in essence, the bag in front is going to almost guarantee herself 4 points as long as Christine Papke doesn't hit an airmail, because she's taken away the possibility of an easy push shot. Christine Papke still thinks she can make it with a push shot, so she's going to try to get on the slick side of the bag, run up through the side, and take all three. But because she has a softer bag, she's not going to be able to do so. Carrie Mittermiller steals 4 points by her understanding of her opponent's playstyle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fast forward a little bit into game one as well. 9-6, Mittermiller and Emge have the lead over the reigning champs. Okay, and what I want to focus on this round is really just two shots in particular. And the concept of, if you're going to miss this way. And what I mean by that is, obviously you want to try to hit your shots 100% how you want to hit them every single time. But if you can orient your shots in a certain way so that if you miss them the correct way, if you will, you set yourself up to limit the damage that your opponent can take advantage of. And in this round, we're going to see a miss by both players. That's the wrong miss, but then they incredibly recover from it and are able to make it a great round. Okay, so this first shot that I want to look at, we talk about a miss, is this blocker bag by Brittany Emge. Now you say, why is that a miss? It looks like a blocker bag to me. Well, a perfect block in the center of the board would lay about right here, right in the center. Now, obviously, that's what you're shooting for. But when we talk about trying to make your best miss, if you're going to miss a blocker shot, you want to miss in the direction and the slide path of your opponent. Meaning that you want your blocker bag in the center, but if you're going to miss to the side of your opponent. That way, if they do a traditional slide shot, their shot is obstructed and you still have a clean lane. The problem with this block shot at the beginning is that now Stacia Pugh, as you can see, she steps out this direction and she has a clean lane, but now Brittany Emge has blocked her own path. Okay, so block shots are fantastic. If you can lay them in the dead center, you're in great shape. If you're going to miss away from the dead center, you want to miss on the side of your opponent. Missing on your own side sets you up to give up points. Now, on this very next shot, we look at Stacia Pugh. What she wants to do is, she wants to do what is called a bully bag. Right now, this bag for Brittany Emge is in her slide path, which means if she throws a normal bag on a push, she's going to take both bags in, the one in her hand and the one on the board. So what Stacia Pugh wants to do is, she, like I said, she's going to step out a little bit here. She wants to come at a hard angle at this bag, push it out of the way even more, and ricochet into the hole. That will guarantee that she enters the last two bags for each player up points, meaning that this blue bag becomes ungrabbable by Brittany Emge. Now, when we talk about try your shot, but if you miss here, On the bully bag, if you miss a bully bag, you just want to miss right. You're going to try to come here and ricochet in, but if you miss, just miss right. If you miss right, you miss Brittany Emge's bag, but you just end up in the hole. You're still positive if Brittany Emge hits a big push shot, she deserves to wash out the round. Just miss right. The problem is she doesn't miss right. She takes too hard of an angle and ends up missing to the left and pushes Brittany Emge's bag closer to the hole. Now giving Brittany Emge a sliver of hope with an airmail to be able to drag that bag in. Well, let's see what happens. She's gonna flip her bag a little bit, but we know what's coming here. An airmail, and she hits it. Now that bag is on the slick side, meaning it's going to eventually get into the hole. We all know it. But what started off as a bad block was forgiven by a miss by Stacia Pugh. Now, for Stacia Pugh, she follows it up with an absolutely incredible shot, somehow getting this bag on a push into the hole. So let's see it progress. She grabs it. Her flight path here was this direction. The bag was here. It continued in this direction. She was using the slick side of the bag. It caught the corner and then fell in. So a great shot by Stacia Pugh. Again, a recovery from her miss of the bully bag in the previous shot. Again, that bag on the slick side is eventually going to fall in the hole. Stacia Pugh on her fourth bag gives herself a 4-bagger, and then unfortunately just a little bit of FBS, fourth bag syndrome by Brittany Emge, awards Stacia Pugh 2 points. So the lesson here, if you're going to miss, know where your miss can be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump ahead in this game. It's a 14-14 game, still in game one. And there's really only one shot I want to look at in this round, but it's something I haven't talked about before. And it's got an interesting concept to it. So we're going to look at it right here. And this is the shot right here that Carrie Mittermiller is about to take. Now, situation is both players are showing 7 points. 2 in the hole, each got 1 on the board. Now, Christine Papke's bag right here is on the slick side, meaning that it has a very high chance of making it into the hole if another bag goes in just on a slide shot. It's more than likely going to clip this corner, causing the bag just to move a little bit, and that momentum and that little bit of nudge is probably going to bring it into the hole. Now, if you bring this bag into the hole and you make the bag in your hand, all that Christine Papke has to do is make her bag in her hand in order to score 2 points, because this bag right here is completely out of play for Carrie Mittermiller to drag. So it looks like, as of right now, that Christine Papke is going to score 2 points in this round. But I want to show you one strategy that Carrie Mittermiller uses right here to make the round end as a wash. And it is an incredible shot, and it's so subtle, but it works so effectively. We're going to watch it right here, and then I'll talk through it. She's got the sticky side down, and she pinches it. Now, it does ricochet a little bit this way, but what she does is she sits on top of this gray bag. She pinches it against this blue bag right here. And what that does is, right now, on the board, Carrie Mittermiller is showing +1. Meaning that if Christine Papke wants to score on this round, she either has to find a way to get in this sliver of a hole without taking any bags, very unlikely, or she has to make all three of these bags with some type of airmail shot. That is a difficult shot to hit. So, what Carrie Mittermiller has done with her block shot, instead of just go ahead and taking that gray bag in with her and leaving Christine Papke an easy slide shot for 2 points, she says, no, if you want to score 2 points, you're going to have to hit an incredible shot. So that's going to make Christine think about what she wants to do. You see her shrug. She's like, airmail, slide, try to get around. Just by a simple push or a pinch shot, as I like to call it, she forces a decision by Christine, and a difficult one at that. You'll see them talk back and forth. She's still confused, and we'll see here just in a second what the result is. She wants to slide. She doesn't want to airmail. Again, talking about that aggressive/conservative side of your opponent. Carrie Mittermiller knowing that Christine Papke is a conservative player. And she hits it for a wash, leaving her bag staying up on the board, still pinched from that original shot. So again, because of the block by Carrie Mittermiller, because of the pinch, she was able to escape the round with points and prevented Christine Papke from scoring anything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fast forward to Game 2. Mittermiller and Emge force a Game 2. And the reason I want to stop here is because I want to talk about one of my favorite shots in Cornhole. The super short block with a ton of room in between the bag and the hole. I'm even talking about short blocks that end up right here, or right here, or right here, depending on the angle of where your opponent is throwing. I'm going to say this much to you newer players. You ever want to throw off someone completely off their game and put their head in a whirlwind? Throw the super short block if you can, because you can't push it. They're almost impossible to go around, and the reason they're hard to go around is that they're so up the board that an angle right here misses the hole here, and an angle right here misses the hole. Whereas if the bag is closer to the hole, if you miss the bag on the right edge, it ends up in the hole, and if you miss it on the left edge, it's right to the left of the hole. So you can still get in the hole on a slide shot going around a normal block. But a short block, if this was in Christine Papke's way right here, she has an impossible angle to slide it in. If she throws and lands where she normally does, this ends up just to the left of the hole. And she obviously can't hit that angle to go around it there. So what I'm saying is short blocks leave your super short blocks, I should say, leave your opponents, if they're placed correctly, impossible angles for a slide shot. That's going to make them do something different, whether it be an airmail, whether it be a different type of slide shot that instead of landing traditionally right here, it actually is thrown with a higher arc and lands here. But either way, you're forcing your opponent to throw a different shot that they're used to. So as we see that super short block by Carrie Mittermiller, it makes Christine Papke go through this mental decision process, and in the essence, she thinks too much. And I don't know if she was trying an airmail or she was trying to land right here, but her bag ended up landing right here and going off the board, which is not typical Christine Papke. So that super short block put her opponent into this mental state of confusion. She follows it up with a roll shot, which I know she wasn't trying to do. She was trying to push it, but since her bag isn't flat enough, non-flat bag pushes turn into roll shots. So if you're a player not with a flat bag, you can actually implement the roll shot into your arsenal of shots if you just go ahead and try to push a bag. Christine Papke follows it up with a double block because she doesn't really know what to do with it. She doesn't want to airmail because she's not as confident in that shot. And when Carrie Mittermiller pushes this bag closer to the hole, it essentially forces Christine Papke to avoid the airmail because she's going to more than likely take Mittermiller's bag anyway. So she lays up on the board, and Mittermiller gets 3 points in the round because she starts with one of my favorite shots, the super short block. Alright guys, we're going to fast forward a little bit here in this second game, and there's just one situation that I want to talk about with you guys, one that I haven't talked about before really, and I don't really have a name for it, but we're going to name it right now. I think I'm going to call it the double diamond. And what that is when two bags sit in front of the hole in a diamond orientation, and that's what you're going to see right about here. And when I say that, and this bag isn't the perfect example, but it still remains the same of how you approach the shot. A double diamond is when you have two bags sitting here and sitting here. They can be both your bags, they can be yours and your opponent's bags, or it could be, all of your opponent's bags. And there's three different ways, and there's three different types of results from throwing at a double diamond. If you throw straight at this bag, you're going to push this bag in, and if you hit it exactly on the center of it, your bag will replace it and sit here forming another double diamond. The second option, and of course that same result can happen if you hit on this side of the bag as well. The second option is that you don't hit it perfectly. You hit it maybe on the side here. You go off the side and this bag goes in, leaving now an open lane to the hole. The third and final option is hitting the double diamond dead down the center. This is going to cause a three-way clog on the hole. You're going to have a bag here, and a bag here, all sitting across the hole, meaning that no more bags are going to go in. You have essentially plugged the hole. Of those three shots, we're going to see two of them here back to back, just so you guys can see if you want to employ a strategy when you have a double diamond, how you can approach it. The first shot by Stacia Pugh is what she wants to do, is she wants to attempt shot number one. But the problem is she ends up with shot number two. She went directly head on of Brittany Emge's bag, but what I think she wanted to do was try to go head on to her bag, push her bag in, and then she sits in front with a replacement bag. The problem is she missed. She hit Brittany Emge's bag, sat here and kicked a little bit, not too much, but a little bit, and her bag went into the hole. So she wanted a shot number one where she replaced her own bag. Instead, she replaces her opponent's bag. So a little bit of a hybrid of number one and number two. But now, Brittany Emge is now left with a decision of how she wants to approach it. And in my opinion, she picks the right shot. If you look, she's got two bags left. She's got two bags in the hole. Stacia Pugh's only got one bag left, and she's got two bags on the board, which means if no more bags go in the hole, Brittany Emge is going to escape the round with points. Many people would think, oh, I need to stay away from the hole. I don't want to help Stacia Pugh at all, so I'll just lay up here on the center of the board. That's not the correct shot. When you have this double diamond formation that I'm now calling it, with two bags on the center, if you want to prevent either bag from going in the hole, the best shot is actually a hard slide up the center, causing a three-way pileup on the hole, thus clogging it. Take a look at Brittany Emge's next shot. And that's exactly what she does. And you can see the confusion on Stacia Pugh's face. She doesn't know what to do with it. The bags are all clogged up. She doesn't know how to get any of her bags in. She's going to try going off the side with a shot. She doesn't hit it. And Brittany Emge can guarantee points simply by laying up on the board. So, know your double diamond situations and how to attack them going forward. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fast forward here. 1914 in Game 2. This is one of the most famous rounds of the season so far, and you'll just have to see how it plays out if you haven't already seen it. Brittany Emge is going to start off with a bag to the right side of the hole. It's going to be on the opposite side of hers, so she's going to have very little chance of bringing that bag into the hole herself. Now, Stacia Pugh is going to be throwing from this angle, and she's not going to help her out either. She's going to give her a little bit of a bully by throwing it a little bit harder than normal, and it's going to push it out of the way. So now, with the score, with Papke and Pugh sitting on 19, all Stacia Pugh has to do here is 4-bag it and win. Now, when you're playing someone at the elite level like Stacia Pugh, you got to assume that they're going to 4-bag it if you just let them throw slide shots. So, at some point, if you're Brittany Emge, you have to at least think about making Stacia Pugh go with an airmail by blocking the hole. She'll go in there. Stacia Pugh has her next shot, but like I said, you can't just let Stacia Pugh be Stacia Pugh, because she will. She will make all 4 of those slides. You see the decision making in her head there by Brittany Emge. And she tries a little block shot. Now, normally wouldn't be the best block shot, but it is something. You do have some type of obstruction in the front half of the hole. Normally you'd like it to be right in the center, but she's doing what she can at this point. This does leave a lane for Stacia Pugh, but sometimes you don't hit those lanes. Sometimes the bag doesn't fall. Sometimes you're just a little bit off. She's going to step out and take an angle, but she misses. Now, from here, each player has 1 bag left. Okay? Stacia Pugh, if she makes her bag, if Brittany Emge somehow makes her bag in, and then Stacia Pugh makes her bag in, Stacia Pugh and Christine Papke are going to win this game right here. So, Brittany Emge has to find a way to either get her bag in and prevent Stacia Pugh from getting her bag in, or she's going to have to find a way to get 2 bags in. Now, originally when I was watching this game, I thought there was no way to get 2 bags in here. I really didn't. She's actually going to talk about it with Carrie, her partner on the other end. She's even going to take a timeout to talk about this and look at the orientation of the bags onto the board. But one thing that I want to talk about is the idea of the airmail that she is eventually going to throw. Alright, so when she's done with her timeout talking with Carrie, let's talk about the plane of the board. The plane of the board is, for the most part, flat. Of course, it's at an angle, but for the sake of the conversation, we're going to say it's flat. If you have a bag that is sitting on top of the board, and let's say the hole is right here, okay? There are a few different angles you can come with an airmail, or really just 2 different angles. You can come from a high arc that comes almost straight down into the hole, or you can come with a line drive shot that comes at more of an angle. Now, when you have bags sitting hanging in the hole, let's say a bag is draped over the side and laying like this. it is better to go with the option of the higher arc Airmail. It has more of a downward force of a bag coming straight down. It's going to have a higher velocity downward, which is going to make the probability of dragging this bag into the hole very high. Now, what Brittany Emge realizes is that when you have the bag, you have your hole, and you have a bag that is sitting in front, that is not hanging in the hole, a downward angled Airmail will not drag that bag because there is nothing to grip. There is no overlapping bag in the hole. It's going to come straight down and not drag anything. So what she does is, instead of having a high downward velocity, she wants to give her bag a high lateral velocity or sideways velocity, so that when it comes in, it is able to clip this edge of the bag, giving the bag forward momentum, driving itself towards the hole, almost like a push shot, almost like if she landed on top of the bag and went in. Landing on top of the bag will sometimes cause a bounce and have your bag go off. So what she is going to try is she is going to try a lower line drive velocity Airmail, which is going to cause the bag to flip into the hole. Additionally, you see her step out this way, which means her line drive Airmail is no longer going to come from this angle, only giving herself maybe 10% of the bag to clip. She's stepping out so that she's coming from this angle, giving herself the biggest portion of the bag that she can to be able to clip and flip over into the hole. So in essence, she is trying a low line drive Airmail to get that bag into the hole, recognizing that if she just simply went around these bags, hit this bag, and ricocheted in, it would leave Stacia Pugh a simple slide shot into the hole. She missed it on the previous shot, so you got to assume that an ACL pro is not going to miss a simple slide shot 2 shots in a row. She wipes her hand of the sweat, she flips her bags, she takes her mark, and she lets the bag fly. And all that needs to come left is the spin and the fist pump, the kudos from the partner. An incredible shot by Brittany Emge in this round leaves Stacia Pugh just in disbelief. She's got to take her time making that next shot. She's absolutely just perplexed that that shot even came out of her hand. She follows it up with a bag in the hole like you expected her to for a wash. Emge stays in the game with an incredible line drive. Man, and after that incredible round, just one or a couple rounds later, we end up in our final round of the game. This 2-game series between Emge and Mittermiller, Pugh and Papke, was one of the best I've seen over the past few years coming out of our women's doubles division, and really out of any division. We had back and forth. We had great shots. We had some great thinker shots that I really wanted to highlight for you guys. Here in this last round of this women's doubles division, we're going to see Christine Papke able to squeeze out a few points by getting one bag in the hole and then causing a mess up front, preventing Carrie Mittermiller from getting a bag in the hole. Just reinforcing the concept of not every bag has to be in the hole for you to win a game. You really just have to score more than your opponent. As dumb and as simple as that sounds, it's a bag in the hole without a bag in the hole for your opponent is going to earn you points. Whether the score is 6-4 or 12-10 in a round, 2 points is 2 points, and really that's all it takes to win a game. A great win by Christine Papke and Stacia Pugh. They are now back-to-back-to-back women's doubles champions. And after a great win here, they show why they're at the top of the women's doubles cornhole world. That is all the time that we got this episode on the Film Room. I hope you guys have enjoyed this breakdown of one of the best games of the year. We will see you next time for the American Cornhole League. This is Trey Ryder. We'll see you guys next time.